Hello everyone, and welcome to our final episode of our non-Smash duology this week. Don't worry, after today we'll be doing just Smash for the rest of the week, but come on guys, it's EVO, give me a break here. Anyways, welcome into today's video, where we'll be looking at the top 6 of EVO 2023's Street Fighter 6 bracket. This top 6 was one filled to the brink with insanity, comebacks, and stories galore. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Since we're looking at the top 6 today instead of the top 8, as that's just what EVO did this year, the first sets we'll be looking at is actually winner semifinals, those sets being Kakeru vs Angry Bird and Punk vs Haitani. Let's start off by looking at Punk vs Haitani. Haitani is a Japanese Chun-Li player who, let's get the elephant out of the room first, is the only one of our top 6 today who uses modern controls instead of the classic control scheme. Now, as far as I understand, Haitani does actually know how to use classic and is a Street Fighter veteran. And look, as far as my 2 cents go on the whole controller scheme thing, I think if your priorities are to shame someone for using modern controls instead of congratulating them on outplacing thousands of other players, I frankly think you've got pretty messed up priorities. Haitani came into the event as the, get this, 50th seed, starting off the weekend by flawlessly sweeping round 1 pools before additionally getting through round 2 pools, though no games reported. In round 3 pools, Haitani finally drew blood, dropping 1 game to Nephew on the way into top 96, where Haitani 2-1'd Fudo, 2-0'd Samurai, and 2-0'd Tokido to make it into top 6, winner's side versus Punk. Punk came into the event as the 3rd seed, starting off the weekend by sweeping round 1 pools flawlessly, getting through round 2 pools with no games reported, and getting through round 3 pools flawlessly. Now in top 96, Punk seemed unstoppable, 2-0'ing UMA 327, 2-0'ing Oil King, and 2-0'ing Nemo, getting all the way to winner's semifinals versus Haitani without dropping a single game. It was now time for Haitani and Punk to throw down in winner's semifinals of the largest stage in the FGC. As round 1 started, Haitani had an early lead, but Punk was able to bring it to even footing with a reversal. But Haitani kept up the pressure, and eventually it was Haitani that would find the critical opening to end round 1. As round 2 started, Haitani kept the pressure up, doing major damage to Punk, but Punk was able to make it back into the game, hitting a key stun to empty Haitani's drive meter and end the round. In the decisive round, Punk hit a key combo to drain Haitani's meter and whittle them down to low health, and while Haitani tried to mount a comeback, it wasn't enough. Game 2 started off strong for Punk, draining down Haitani to a twig of health and placing them in the corner, and with no options left for Haitani to mount a reversal, Punk kept the pressure up and took round 1. Round 2 started very strongly for Haitani, their great spacing allowing them to nearly perfectly take round 2 from Punk. In the decisive round, Haitani started off in advantage state, getting a huge combo. But with Punk's superior spacing, Punk was able to bring the game all the way back, keeping up the pressure and hitting the level 3 to win Game 2. Game 3 started off so strongly for Punk, getting a huge combo, and while Haitani tried to mount a reversal, it wasn't enough to stop Punk. Round 2 started off with yet another oppressive advantage state from Punk, and the level 3 barely didn't kill, but Haitani got another huge counter and combo out of it. But with the aggressive option from Punk, Punk took the victory, defeating Haitani 3-0, moving on into winners finals with 0 games dropped. Now we move on into our next winner semi-set, that being Kakeru vs Angry Bird. Angry Bird came into the event as the 4th seed, starting off the weekend by sweeping pools flawlessly, just like our past competitors, also making it through round 2 pools with no games reported. Making it through round 3 pools, however, with a game dropped to Fenridi. In top 96, Angry Bird defeated Sonic Fox 2-0. Ooh, I know that one! Angry Bird next defeated Momochi 2-0, then going up and defeating Fujimura 2-1 to make winners semis versus Kakeru. Kakeru came into the event as the 8th seed, starting off the weekend by getting through round 1 pools flawlessly, then moving into round 2 pools which actually had games reported this time, with Kakeru dropping 1 game to Nanai. Moving into round 3 pools, Kakeru actually got through it flawlessly, moving into top 96, where Kakeru defeated Aqua 2-1, CR Knuckle-Doo in 2-0, and impressively, Kakeru 2-1'd Mena RD, the winner of GAML 2023, which we mentioned in this video here. With this victory, Kakeru moved into winner semifinals of EVO 2023 versus Angry Bird for a set that would prove to be one of the bangers of the tournament. As Game 1 started, Angry Bird started off with some insane aggression, but it got reversaled by Kakeru. Angry Bird cornered until he was able to find the key opening to close out round 1. In round 2, Kakeru spent the level 3 to put Angry Bird in a bad spot, continuing the pressure, but Angry Bird's insane aggression proved to pay off, with Angry Bird taking Game 1 in a flashy fashion. In Game 2, Angry Bird started off with an insane combo to get a perfect in round 1. Round 2 started with excellent zoning from Kakeru, chipping damage off of Angry Bird throughout the entire round, and with one more key opening, Kakeru took round 2. Headed into the decisive round, Kakeru hit their level 3, putting Angry Bird in a bad spot. And while Angry Bird had some good corner pressure against Tokido, an unfortunate drop allowed Tokido to close out round 3 and win game 2. Game 3 started off with amazing zoning from Tokido, and a level 1 to finish it. Tokido won round 1. Round 2 started off with the two players going back and forth with one another, but it was Angry Bird who found the decisive opening to close out game 2. For the decisive round, Angry Bird started off with an excellent punish to whittle down Tokido's health bar. But Tokido, not to be outdone, got a level 3 themselves, putting the two of them at mostly even health. It was Angry Bird though, with one more critical opening, who would close out and win game 3. Game 4 started off with good corner pressure from Tokido, but with an aggressive option from Angry Bird out of the corner, the health was evened up, only for the round to be taken by Tokido. Round 2 started off with a massive combo string from Angry Bird, pinning Tokido, but with a good punish counter, the positions were reversed. And with a flash to finish off the round, the set went to a decisive game 5. In round 1 of game 5, Tokido started off very dominantly, Angry Bird on low health and gauge, but with a good aggressive string, Angry Bird brought the round all the way back. Round 2 started off with Tokido missing a level 1, being heavily punished by Angry Bird, but the reversal put them at even standing. Even an aggressive option from Angry Bird couldn't bring it back. In the very final round of the set, the two started off with great neutral, both not committing too hard with so much on the line. Tokido would find the first opening, hitting the level 3 to get a huge lead. But with Angry Bird's aggressive options leading into huge strings and burnout on Tokido, Angry Bird was able to push on the pressure and stunned Tokido, continuing the pressure all the way to win the set. And with that 3-2 set, Angry Bird moved on into winners finals versus Punk and sent Tokido down to losers quarters. Speaking of losers quarters, now we have to take a look at those sets, with those sets being Haitani versus Mena RD and Tokido versus Tokido. Since we were just looking at Tokido, let's take a look at Haitani versus Mena RD first. We've covered Haitani's run already, but we need to take a look into Mena RD's run to reach this point. Mena RD came into the event the first seed, starting off the weekend by sweeping round 1 pools flawlessly, as well as round 2 pools, as well as round 3 pools for that matter. In top 96, Mena RD defeated Daigo 2-1. Ooh, I know that one too. Mena RD then defeated Torimeshi 2-1 before going up against and losing to Tokido 2-1, like we discussed earlier. Now in losers, Mena RD defeated Moke 2-0 and then Fujimura 3-0 in order to make it into losers quarters versus Haitani. Game 1 started off with some good zoning from both players, with Haitani getting the first combo. Haitani kept the pressure up, whittling down Mena's HP. But with an aggressive reversal into a flashy finish, Mena RD took round 1. Round 2 started with an aggressive opening from Mena, but with good punish from Haitani, the positions were reversed. And with the pressure never letting up, Haitani took round 2. The decisive round started off with Haitani hitting a good combo to start, but a great counter hit from Mena evened up the HP. But it was Mena who found the next opening, with Haitani trying to stay out at disadvantage. But it wasn't enough to avoid Mena taking that round and game 1. Game 2 started off strongly for both players, the two trading hits to and fro. But after lots of neutral, it was Mena who found the key hit to take round 1. Round 2 started off with some aggressive options from Mena, being punished by Haitani. Haitani kept the pressure up the entire round, getting a near perfect to close out round 2. The decisive round 3 started off with Haitani keeping up their oppressive advantage state, whittling down Mena's HP and closing off the game, this time getting an actual perfect to close out game 2. Game 3 started off with both players trading blows back and forth, but with an oppressive combo from Mena, Mena would take round 1. Round 2 started off with a reaction punish counter from Haitani, evening up the health, and Haitani kept up the pressure, avoiding the reversal and finishing the round dominantly. The decisive round started off with Mena having an impressive performance and finished with a level 3, getting a perfect round and sending Haitani to Memphis. Game 4 started with Haitani getting a dominant combo to start, with Mena at nearly no HP. But with an amazing opening, Mena got the key hits and made a phenomenal comeback to win round 1. Round 2 started similarly, being dominant in round 2 until suffering from burnout in the corner versus Mena, evening up the HP, and Mena getting yet another comeback, winning game 4 and defeating Haitani 3-1, eliminating Haitani at 5th place, and allowing Mena RD to move on in bracket. Now we move on to our other losers quarter set, Kakeru versus Tokido. Since we've gone over Kakeru already, all we have to do is cover Tokido. Tokido came into the event as the 10th seed, the only other top 6 finisher other than Haitani to not be a top 8 seed. Tokido started off the weekend by winning all of their round 1 pool sets with no games reported, and with the same being true for round 2 pools. Tokido made it through round 3 pools as well, only dropping one game to Dual Kevin on the way. In top 96, Tokido defeated Yanai 2-0, as well as defeating Shuto 2-1. It was here that Tokido lost 2-0 to Haitani in top 24. Dropping down into losers, Tokido defeated SR Knuckle Do 2-0, before going on to defeat Nemo 3-1 in order to make top 6 losers side, to face off against Kakudu, a set that would go down as one of the best in the tournament. As Game 1 started, Tokido kept up the aggressive options against Kakudu, when in the face of Kakudu's attempted zoning. But it was Kakudu that would find the opening to close out round 1. In round 2, Tokido found the early opening, but it was evened up by Kakudu's level 1. But with an aggressive option from Tokido, Tokido stylistically finished off round 2 with a level 3. The decisive round 3 started off with the two players trading hits back and forth, but Tokido found lots of hits to rack up damage. Even with Kakeru's attempted reversal, it wasn't enough to come back from Tokido's massive lead. Game 2 started off with Tokido having a good offensive opening, but it was Kakeru that got stunned in order to finish off the round with an impressive combo. Round 2 started dominantly with a combo and a level 3, followed by yet another combo to get a perfect to close off Game 2 for Kakudu. Game 3 started with, yet again, an aggressive combo from Tokido. But with a perfect parry from Kakudu, Kakudu was able to zone from Tokido's oppressive aggression. Now at even health, it was Tokido who found the poke to close off round 1. In round 2, the two zoned each other in neutral for a minute before Tokido hit a level 3 on Kakudu, doing lots of damage and pinning Kakudu into the corner. And with yet another aggressive option, Tokido took that round and that game, going up 2-1 versus Kakudu. Game 4 started off with a dominant start from Kakudu before Tokido responded, but got met with a perfect parry from Kakeru. With one more combo, Kakudu dominantly took round 1. Round 2 started off with a good combo from Tokido, pinning Kakudu in the corner and finishing the combo off with a level 3. Now in Burnout, Tokido couldn't do much to avoid Kakeru's zoning. However, avoiding Ken's level 3, Kakudu took the round 2 and the game 4, bringing the set to a decisive game. In round 1 of game 5, Kakudu had dominant zoning the entire round, not letting Tokido in and taking the round dominantly. In round 2, the two traded hits back and forth with one another, but Kakudu found the level 3, putting Tokido in a massively bad position. Tokido was not looking good, but with one critical opening into a stun, Tokido hit the level 3, completing the massive comeback and bringing the decisive game to a decisive round. Round 3 started off so dominantly for Tokido, putting Kakeru in the corner and not letting go. But with Kakudu finding a level 2 on reaction, it might have been over, until Tokido leapt out with an aggressive level 1, barely winning the round and defeating Kakudu in a Game 5 3-2 set, winning 2 comeback rounds in a row, eliminating Kakudu at 5th place, losing to 2 Kens in a row, and allowing Tokido to move on in bracket to face Mena RD in loser semifinals. But before we get to that, we have to take a stop up into winners finals to watch Angry Bird versus Punk. Game 1 started off with Punk getting a great combo versus Angry Bird, and even a good reversal from Angry Bird not being enough to take the round. Round 2 saw Angry Bird hit a good level 3 against Punk, but with an aggressive option out of the level 3, Angry Bird took the round. Round 3 started off with the two players locked in neutral before the two took turns hitting each other with good combos. But it was Angry Bird who found the level 2 to finish out the round, with Angry Bird taking Game 1, Punk losing his first game of the entire tournament. Game 2 started with Angry Bird being in advantage before Punk responded with a great combo and closing out the round. Round 2 saw Punk starting off with an aggressive combo, getting reversal by Angry Bird to rack up the damage. Angry Bird then found an opening, dealing lots of damage, and with the punish counter, Angry Bird took round 2. Round 3 saw Angry Bird getting the early lead of the round, with Punk later finding a good opening to even up the HP. And it was Punk who found the last hit to close out the round and the game. Game 3 started off with the two players going hit for hit before Punk found the right string to end off the round. Round 2 saw Punk starting off aggressively before Angry Bird found the critical opening and the end of the round. Round 3 started off with Angry Bird getting a massive lead and carrying it all the way to win the round and the game, going up 2-1 versus Punk. Game 4 started off with the two players going hit for hit with one another, but it was Angry Bird who found the key last hit to close out round 1. Round 2 saw Punk start off well, carrying the advantage with the level 1 to find the kill to close out the round. For the decisive round 3, it was Angry Bird who started aggressively, but Punk found the level 3 onto Angry Bird, taking the set to a decisive Game 5. Game 5 started off with the two players both getting their licks in, but it was Angry Bird who found the critical opening to win round 1. Round 2 saw Angry Bird starting off with a great oppressive combo, keeping Punk in the corner and avoiding the reversal, keeping Punk in the corner and finishing the round with a level 3. Ending the set in a 3-2 victory, with Angry Bird defeating Punk and moving on into Grand Finals, winner's side. Now it's time for us to take a look at losers semifinals, Mena RD versus Tokido, to see who would get 4th place and who would move on to face Punk in losers finals. Game 1 started off with a punish counter from Mena RD, getting a good combo on Tokido, and with the second punish counter from Mena comboed Tokido all the way to win round 1. Round 2 was Mena all day with a phenomenal combo, oppressively keeping Tokido in the corner and winning game 1 dominantly. Game 2 started off well for Mena with the Blanca ball as well, but Tokido got some hits in for the first time in the set, hitting a big combo against Mena and taking the round off of it. Round 2 started off with some good hits from Mena and a reversal from Tokido, before Tokido got their own combo on Mena, which ended in Mena evening up the round. And with a flashy finish, Tokido defeated Mena in round 2, taking game 2 and bringing the set to 1-1. Game 3 started off with Mena getting a massive combo onto Tokido, getting a perfect to finish off round 1. In round 2, Tokido got a great read into a massively oppressive combo, but it would get reversaled by Mena. But it wasn't strong enough, with Tokido taking round 2. In round 3, Mena started off with a great combo, keeping Tokido in the corner, Mena getting another massive combo, which would get reversaled by Tokido, bringing the HP to even. But it would be Mena who would take the round and the game, going up 2-1 versus Tokido. Game 4 started off great for Tokido, and even the attempted reversal from Mena, it wasn't enough to prevent Tokido from taking the round. Round 2 saw the two players going back and forth with hits on one another, but it would be Mena who would punish the whiff from Tokido and take the round. Round 3 started off with Mena getting a big combo, keeping Tokido in the corner and pressuring. But a reversal with Ken's level 3 put Tokido back into the game. And with one more critical opening, Tokido got the throw to finish the game, bringing the set to a decisive Game 5. Game 5 started off with Tokido finding the first opening, getting a good combo and doing lots of damage. Even with the attempted reversal from Mena RD, it would be Tokido who found the critical opening to win round 1. Round 2 saw Mena starting off dominantly, doing lots of damage. Mena RD would carry that advantage all the way into a victory in round 2. The final round of the final game started off with Mena RD coming out aggressively, but Tokido responded with just as much aggression. Tokido would get a perfect parry to combo Mena RD, but Mena hit one of their own, both players now in burnout. But it was Mena who hit the armor break and converted it to end the set, defeating Tokido 3-2 and eliminating Tokido at 4th. Now Mena RD went up in losers finals, going up against Punk. Game 1 started off with Mena finding the first combo, and even with Punk trying to get out of the corner, it wasn't quite enough to stop Mena RD from taking round 1. Round 2 began with a good throw into combo conversion from Punk, with Punk carrying that advantage all the way into a victory in round 2. Round 3 saw Mena RD finding the first opening, with Punk answering back quickly. But Mena RD confirmed a level 3, putting Punk into burnout, but Punk got a level 2, evening up the HP. And with the aggressive option afterward, Punk was able to win the round, taking game 1 off of Mena. Game 2 started off with two players playing good neutral and getting good hits, but it was Mena who got the lead. But after a punish counter from Punk, the HP was near even, and with one more combo, Punk would take round 1. Round 2 started off with Punk getting the early lead, but the level 2 coming out from Mena was able to even up the HP. But with a drop from Mena, Punk was able to convert into another round win, going up 2-0 versus Mena RD. Game 3 started off with Mena RD getting the early opening, getting a good lead to start off. Mena carried that advantage state hard, converting it into a win in round 1. Round 2 saw Punk get a good reaction anti-air, but Punk couldn't get much out of it before MRD let the level 2 rip into an oppressive advantage state, dealing lots of damage onto Punk. Mena was able to convert that into another KO, putting their name on the board with a game win. Game 4 started off with Mena RD getting another huge combo on Punk, never letting up the advantage whatsoever and getting a perfect KO in round 1. Round 2 began with Punk getting the early lead onto Mena, carrying the advantage hard. But Mena wasn't out yet, finding a good combo into a level 3, dealing massive damage but not quite killing. Mena just needed to find one more hit to win the round and take Game 4. We now headed into a decisive Game 5, with Mena RD starting off strongly with the early combo, getting huge damage onto Punk. Punk was able to get a reversal, getting some nice damage, continuing to pressure in the corner, and letting the level 1 rip, winning round 1. Round 2 started off strongly for Punk, but Mena got the reversal, resetting the neutral. With a level 2 coming out from Mena, a grab allowed Mena to get some big damage. With Punk in burnout, Mena got a key opening, getting a huge combo into a level 2, continuing it into a round victory. With the final round of the game, Mena RD started the game with a strong punish counter, getting a huge combo onto Punk, dealing massive damage into a level 1, and even a reversal attempt from Punk couldn't stop Mena RD from defeating Punk, winning the set in a Game 5 reverse 3-0 from Mena RD, and eliminating Punk at 3rd. Mena RD had come all the way up to Grands, having entered top 6 from loser's side, and having fought through the gauntlet. Now all Mena had to do was face off against Angry Bird in Grand Finals of EVO 2023. Game 1 started off with Angry Bird being aggressive, but Mena got a punish counter and a huge combo off onto Angry Bird. With both players in burnout, Mena barely avoided death and won round 1, clutchly. Round 2 saw another key parry from Mena, but with the level 2 leading into the grab, Mena got a massive combo onto Angry Bird. Angry Bird tried to respond with a combo of his own, but Mena was able to take round 2, winning game 1 of Grands. Game 2 started off with Angry Bird attempting a combo, only to get reversaled by Mena for some huge damage, with Mena taking round 1 dominantly. Round 2 started off with Mena hitting a grab and activating level 2, though not getting much off of it before Angry Bird got a massive combo onto Mena. Mena tried to get out of the corner, but to no avail, Angry Bird taking round 2. Round 3 saw Angry Bird starting out with an early lead onto Mena, dealing heavy damage. Mena tried hard to get in, but with a parry from Angry Bird into a level 3, Mena was in a bad spot. With one more combo from Angry Bird took round 3, winning game 2. Game 3 started off with Angry Bird getting a strong lead onto Mena, carrying the advantage state into a quick KO in round 1. Round 2 saw Angry Bird once again getting a big combo, continuing it from coast to coast. Angry Bird's aggression was stopped by Mena's level 2, with the massive combo bringing HP to even. But in the last moment, Angry Bird stopped Mena's combo, taking round 2 and winning game 3. Going into game 4, we saw Mena RD switch to Luke from Blanca, getting a great early combo onto Angry Bird. Angry Bird responded though, dealing some nice damage onto Mena and taking round 1 with a level 1. Round 2 started with Mena getting a stun onto Angry Bird, getting massive damage onto him and winning the round, bringing game 4 to a decisive round 3. Round 3 started off with a great aggressive opening from Angry Bird, but Mena unleashed the level 3 aggressively, taking Angry Bird to Memphis and continuing the combo to get a perfect KO in round 3, winning game 4. Game 5 opened with Mena getting a good combo, but with Angry Bird responding with one of his own. But Angry Bird clutched out the round with chip damage by the skin of his teeth. Mena started off round 2 with a level 2 right away, but got hit with a big combo, though Mena was able to respond with one of his own. And with the drive counter, Mena kept pushing advantage, winning round 2 dominantly. For our decisive round 3, Mena started off with a good combo, but Angry Bird responded with one of his own, getting a grab loop. But Mena RD spent the level 3 getting lots of damage. And it was Mena who found the critical opening to win game 5 and reset our bracket, with EVO 2023 heading into a reset of Grand Finals. Our final set started off with Mena getting the first good combo, dealing lots of damage onto the Angry Bird. But Angry Bird took advantage of 2 consecutive whiffs to make an insane comeback and win round 1 decisively. Round 2 started with a big hiccup, Mena RD's controller disconnecting, and with a huge show of sportsmanship, in defiance of EVO's official rules, Angry Bird agreed to play it out with no consequence for Mena. Round 2 officially started with a massive combo from Angry Bird, whittling down Mena's HP and getting a near perfect to win game 1. Game 2 of our reset started with Mena going back to Blanca, starting off with a great whiff punish into another, leading into a massive combo into a near perfect KO for Mena RD. Round 2 started quite different, with Angry Bird getting the first combo, continuing to apply pressure until Mena activated the level 2. And with an amazing set of parries, Mena RD took game 2 with an impressive combo. Game 3 saw Angry Bird start off with a great combo, and with a great parry onto Mena leading into the level 1, Angry Bird kept going with a massive combo into a near perfect for round 1. Round 2 started off with Mena RD being kept in the corner, with Angry Bird applying the pressure continuously. Mena activated the level 2, getting a great combo, but with a whiff, Angry Bird was able to hit the level 3 to finish off round 2 and win game 3. Game 4 started off with Mena RD once again switching to Luke, opening with a big aggressive combo. Mena kept the pressure up with more combos, but Angry Bird responded with one of their own, racking up lots of damage onto Mena RD, 1 HP away from death. But Mena RD responded with a level 2 of their own, barely KOing Angry Bird for a clutch round 1 win. Round 2 started off with Angry Bird getting a good combo to pin Mena in the corner, but Mena was able to escape with a parry. Angry Bird kept up the pressure, applying lots of damage and hitting the level 1, bringing us to a decisive round 3. Round 3 opened with an aggressive opening from Angry Bird and an aggressive reversal from Mena. Angry Bird with a throw loop pinned Mena with low health, and one more crucial opening, Angry Bird defeated Mena RD 3-1 in the reset, becoming your champion of EVO 2023's Street Fighter 6 bracket. This bracket saw so many banger sets, with only one set we covered today being a 3-0 sweep. Emotions ran high, friendships were born, and dreams were realized, and champions were born. Street Fighter 6 has only been out for a few months, and already we are seeing what may have been one of the most exciting top 6s at an EVO in a long time. And to end off our video today, I think I have an announcement to make. I'll be purchasing Street Fighter 6 and will attempt to learn it. Now don't get me wrong, I'm probably going to play lots of single player content before I ever attempt to fight another person, but I'm very excited for my first traditional fighting game. I'm still a Smash channel for the moment, but I want to expand a bit and see if I can't cover more games like Street Fighter 6 and Guilty Gear Strive. But at the very least, the rest of my videos for this week will be Smash focused, with tomorrow's video being on my Asuma top 13.5 and Thursday's video being on Dose to Cell. Before I go, shout out to my patrons Seth Laster and FireScroll333, and my YouTube members Stormtrooper, Loco Soko, Mattoon, Roropoke, and special thanks to my Tier 2 member Mike G. Until tomorrow, I've been Mr. Mice, and thank you all so much for watching.